Hey guys, it's Leanne from Makeup by Leanne, Holistic Health and Beauty, and I'm here on Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday, and I'm so super excited to be sharing with you a special friend of mine and amazingly awesome lady, Jackie Lambert. I'm just waiting for her to come on live and then we can get started. And Jackie, if you're there, just let me know. We've been having a few technology challenges. And now I've got my lovely dog barking as well at the same time, which is awesome. So Jackie, if you're there, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll have to organise this another time. No, not having much luck. She's not on for some reason. Oh, here she is, finally. Patience and trust. So now I'm going to bring them on the camera. I'm going to bring Jackie on. And she's going to come on right now. So, there you go.
Oh my goodness, we're on!
Yes, and my dog was barking really loud. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to breathe and you'll come on. And you did.
Yes. Wow, now we can breathe.
Yeah, you know, we prepared for 1 o'clock, but I think it's now nearly 1:15, but it doesn't matter. You're on.
So I think I mentioned when we were trying to catch up, trying to coordinate this, that often these things happen because of energy. So yeah. I, as a healer, I often have problems with technology. So this is not your fault.
Thank you, because I have the same challenges. Anyway, so grateful to have you on here today. I want to introduce you properly, and I also want to just share with anybody that's watching live or who watches this back. Hey Jeanette, how you going? I just wanted to share that if you've been watching my journey and you've been watching these Wellness Wednesdays, you would know that I have a very deep and committed connection with another spiritual healer, and her name's Debbie, and you would have seen her on here, and I work with Debbie regularly, and this is by no means any disrespect to her, because the thing is that I believe that different people resonate with different people, and the reason why Jackie is here is because she actually complements the entire process. And she's actually been an integral part in helping not only myself, but also my husband. So I just wanted to clarify that, because some of you might be thinking, oh, this is just a bit weird because you've brought Debbie on previously and I'm working with Debbie. But here's the thing. You know, when I went to actually, firstly introduce Jackie Lambert. So Jackie Lambert is the owner and CEO of Love Life Today. She says that it's never too late to change course, to take the necessary action to facilitate change. She's a Heal Your Life coach. She's an energy healer, and she's also a clairvoyant. I'm sure she's other things as well, which she'll share with you in this session. But she basically helps clients to heal their life so they can love their life today. So if you are intuitive, brave, and open to healing, then Jackie is definitely the person for you, as she can basically help you face, conquer, change habits, patterns, behaviors, things to do with your job, relationships, all sorts of things. So personally for me, I reached out to Jackie because I was at a spot where I actually wanted to figure out what was my purpose. Like, why am I here? And I think a lot of us have those moments where we think, you know, life is so busy, I'm so crazy, but what is actually my purpose in life? Like, what am I doing here? I just needed some direction, and I went to Jackie and just immediately felt very comfortable with her in her presence, and she connected with me very authentically. Nothing was woo-woo, very authentically, and basically summed me up pretty much. She summed me up pretty well right from the beginning. And what actually happened in that process was that I got to lay down on her bed, and actually she put me into this. Well, I just naturally fell into sort of a really nice sleep. So maybe an unconscious kind of meditative state. But I just felt like I was sleeping while she did her healing, while she did her work. And it was actually in that process where I actually felt things in my body. So I felt my heart beating. I felt my throat like I needed a cough. And I also started to visually see things. And when we had this discussion afterwards, Jackie was sharing with me that as she was clearing blockages in my energy, that is why I was feeling these emotions in different parts of my body. But the most incredible experience for me was when I actually got to see a version of myself, like so close up to me, with diamonds in my eyes. Now, anybody listening, you remember this, anybody listening to this might think, oh my God, Leanne, you know, that's crazy. But this is the reality, is that I have never, ever, ever seen myself so pure, so real, so authentic. And as Jackie explained, that I actually had the privilege in that session to see my true authentic self, to come to meet her and to see her. And that was just the most incredible experience ever. And what Jack actually did then was been able to give me more direction in terms of my purpose. And we got to talk through that. But moving on, actually, she's actually helped my husband Craig very much in so many ways. It was January that we were on holidays, and we were having a conversation about, wow, you know, we've been married for nearly 20 years. And we actually shared with each other some things. And one of the things I shared with Craig was that I felt that I was a lot more further on in my personal journey than he was. And he admitted that he was feeling stuck. And I just had a very open, candid conversation with him and said, you know, if we're going to be together for the next 10, 20 years, then you need to catch up, because I am at a different frequency than you. And I can see that, and I can feel your energy. And in order for us to both show up every day to be the best versions that we can be, not only as individuals, you know, and as partners, but as a mum and dad to our two gorgeous girls, you know, you need to work on yourself. Are you open to this? And that was the thing. It wasn't me saying you need to work on yourself. It was like, are you open to taking those steps to just discover ways that you can move forward? And he said, actually, yes. And I was like, thank you. And I connected him with Jackie, and it was just amazing, because he had one session with her, and the next morning he woke up, the alarm went off at like 5:30 or 20 to 6, and I thought that he was just going to work, but he was in his gym gear. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, he had not exercised in literally over a year, and work is just his entire life. So he was in his gym gear. He says, I'm going for a run. I said, are you kidding me? You're going for a run? And that's the thing. You know, he went out that door, he went for a run, he came back, and we spoke, and he said that the session with Jackie changed him, because he realized that he needed to put himself first, that he needed to focus on self-care. And Jackie gave him strategies to help him do that. And the change that I have seen in my husband and my best friend in the last 3 months is just off the charts amazing. And he has reconnected with Jackie again, and every time he goes, it's like just filling up his own cup that he can then pour into others and be the best of himself. So my personal experience is that Jackie is the real deal. She's authentic, and she heals people at a soul level. So enough about me, and let's get straight into sharing more a little bit about some of your what you do. So just for the audience that are listening, do you want to just explain and elaborate a little bit more about what you do? I've mentioned the words such as coach, healer, I've mentioned clairvoyant, but can you explain what you do and how you heal? That would be awesome.
Yeah, sure. So I'm probably to give you a little bit of background about me. Now, I spent 20 years as a chief financial officer in the advertising and media sector. Now, that may seem really strange for a healer, and I obviously transitioned into this full time. And, you know, being in the corporate world and being that healer, it was misaligned. So for me, I have spent part of my journey as well, just like Leanne, doing some inner work. And that's pretty much what I ask my clients to do, you know, to be open, just like Craig and Leanne, to do the work. And actually, Leanne, I'm not sure if Craig told you, but his homework from my session was to go for a run. So
Okay.
in my sessions, people often get homework, and part of the reason for that is when I connect in with their soul and shift, you know, what's misaligned or what they are ready to let go of because it's not serving them, they do get homework because they need to be active participants for change. And that's really part of my coaching, and that's really part of the healing journey that I help facilitate for my clients. So just moving on from that, I want to explain what an energy healer does. So as Leanne said, and oh, hello puppy. I want to explain that an energy healer for me heals at a soul level. And I know Debbie had said the same thing. It's Debbie, isn't it? You are the healer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she said you need to heal at a soul level. And part of that is we have conditioned behaviors that we learn over a period of time. We have conditioned habits, we have conditioned thoughts and beliefs. And part of that is we really just need to let that stuff go, because getting back to your soul level is really about the essence of who you really are. And, you know, through your life experience and the challenges that you've faced during your life, that energy, those habits and beliefs and behaviors stick to you. They stay in your energy body. So how I heal, I work with chakras, the subtle energy body, energy meridians within the body. And to me, a chakra tells a story. So I'm able to use my Claire gifts. I'll call them Claire glyphs, and I'll go into more detail as to what they are, to actually find within your story that you tell me, either through your energy or through your voice telling me your story, what needs to be unraveled, unblocked, and what you need to actually release. And a lot of the time when you have a session, a lot of my clients actually start releasing before they get there because they've made that appointment. So by the time they get to me, they're really ready. Like they're motivated, they know what they have to clear, or sometimes they have no awareness, but their energy's ready, right? So I'm just looking at my notes in the background, sorry about that. So for being an active participant is really helpful, because I don't want to be fixing you. I can make you feel better. I can make you, release things, but this is your life. You know, this is your journey. You need to be an active participant, because otherwise I'm just pulling off the Band-Aid, healing the wound. And then what happens if, you don't change, and then that same wound comes back, right? So that's kind of how I see healing at a soul level, if that makes sense. It's about getting to the root of the wound, not just what you can see on the surface, where there's, so the scar tissue, the trauma that you may have had, the underlying reason beneath all of that is what I get to. So it's really at a really deep level, which is why I say soul healing. So I might go into my Claire gifts, because I often tell clients what they are, and people don't know what Claire means. So Claire is a preface of heightened awareness. Okay, so a clairsentient, that is when I feel people's energy. So as Leanne would know, she would come in and she had a session with me, and if she wasn't able to cry, or if she was upset about something, I cry. I cry for my clients because their wounding may be so deep. There could be a lot of sadness there. And I release that for them, shift that vibration for them. It doesn't stay. It doesn't last. I'm able to shift it really quickly. Clairvoyant, that's the benefit of sight. Now, in my mind's eye, which is really like my third eye, which is here, I am able to visualize a story or a picture or an image that plays out like a movie of the mind. And with that benefit of sight, I'm able to find and heal quite deeply because I've got that going on. So the next one is clairaudient, and that's sound. So I might get voices, I might get words, I might get, you know, sounds or anything like that going on at the same time. So all of these clear gifts happen simultaneously when you have a session of energy healing and coaching with me. I can't switch them off. I can switch them on, but they're there. So you get the benefit of receiving all of that guidance in a session. So part of the next thing I really wanted to talk about was surrender. And Leanne knows this story. And I really wanted to give the benefit of our beautiful audience my story of surrender. Now, as a healer, I am constantly doing inner work. I am a student of life and I will continue to evolve and grow. And so I look inward as well. So one of my personal struggles was control, right? So I even had a title, financial controller, in my job. So control played out in several different ways. And I see this for every client that control features in their life. It may be where they may feel controlled, they may be out of control, or they may be quite controlling. Now, every aspect of that control may operate at different percentages. You know, it doesn't need to all be at 100% of one. So part of releasing that control is surrender. So now I get to tell you my story of surrender. So a few years ago, my dad passed away, and having the beautiful gift of being able to communicate with him on the other side, I said to him, "Hey Dad, I'm not really sure how to surrender. Like, how do I do that? I know it's not giving up. I know that, but what does surrender really mean?" So he then showed me in a story that my husband told me. My husband went out to dinner and he ordered his favorite meal, and his favorite meal is butter chicken. And when the dinner turned up, it was oversalted. It was actually terrible. He didn't like it at all. He was so disappointed. He was so looking forward to that beautiful butter chicken. And the guys that he was with for work said, "Mate, don't worry. It's okay. We've got this awesome dish. Like, trust me, you have not had this dish." They were at this Nepalese restaurant or something. And he said, "Oh, I've never had Nepalese food. Like, I'm not sure." Right? So he said, "Right, I'll give it a go." He tried this food and he said the word, "It is beautiful." So he's relaying this story to me. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I'm clairvoyant. Like, I get this sense, right? So I said to myself, why is he using the word beautiful? That is my dad's word. I don't get it. Why is he saying the food was beautiful? And then the next day in my meditation that I do every morning, I said, "Hey Dad, like, how do I surrender?" And he said, "I've already told you." And I went, "What?" And he said, in your husband's story, right? I went, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, my husband's name's Dave, just for everybody's benefit, so I don't have to keep on saying husband." So Dave ordered this dish. He had an attachment to the outcome that it was going to be amazing. He thought it was going to be fantastic. So what happened was, when he tried this new meal, he wasn't attached to it. He had no expectation. He had no strings of attachment, or he wasn't expecting any outcome because he was trying something new. So what he did was he found that experience and that dish was beautiful, and it was amazing, and it was really heartfelt, and he loved it, and he's sharing that story with everyone because he just had that emotional connection to that food. Why? Because he had no strings of attachment. He surrendered. He had no expectation. He was willing to try something new. And from that, I tell that story so people can relate to the fact that surrender isn't hard, that letting go of the expectation to the outcome, whatever that may be in your life, you might want a pay increase, you may want a new job, you may want to manifest abundance. I'm telling you, surrender is actually part of that. And that is honestly the greatest gift that my dad has given me since his, from his guidance to me. So I'm not sure if you like that story, but it's certainly a game changer to me. And all my clients really understand. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
and when you told me the story, it definitely resonated with me, because that's the thing. I think we're always thinking that once I have this or once I have that, or I don't know, once we move house, or once I have a better partner, or I don't know,
I get paid more money, then I think
make more money
in the future, right? So it's actually having that attachment to something in the future as opposed to being present and being in the now. And in that moment, you don't have time to form any attachment. You're just in the flow of life, right? So for me, that story really demonstrates what our desired natural state needs to be to manifest the life we want. And that is the reason why I called my business Love Life Today, because I want to master that state.
It is today. Yeah. And it is today, right? Today is the present. So
today is the present.
Because Dr. Wayne Dwyer says, today is the present, the past is history, and the future is a mystery. There's a lot out there to endorse what you're saying. Whether you're an energy healer or not, what you're saying makes 100% sense. I think just we get so caught up in, we have a goal and then we want something and then we attach a definitive time and we need to have that. And then we don't get it, and then we beat ourselves up about it and we feel like we failed, when actually we should be releasing that, surrendering that, and just being in the present and enjoying the moment and allowing the outcome to just be there, knowing that it's going to be in our greatest good.
And that's exactly right. And that's how I do clairvoyant readings. We look for hope, we look for guidance, just to reaffirm our own internal guidance system. And a lot of the time we don't necessarily get to get the outcome. Sometimes I don't get given timelines. Why? Because people get attached to the outcome of that timeline. Right? And I know a lot of psychics and a lot of clairvoyants feel the same way, that and everyone has free will. And in this present moment, if you're open to new experiences and the excitement of those new experiences, then you're really open to the universe guiding you, or the divine, or God, whatever we call it, as opposed to as opposed to like holding on so tight, like going, oh my God, I need more money, I need this, because you're not going to get it.
Definitely. It's interesting because the second time I came to see you, it was we didn't plan for a clairvoyant session, but you actually asked me to give you my mobile phone. I was like, really? Why do you need that? And you said no, because you're always attached to it, and I'll be able to connect with you really well that way. And then the one thing that you said to me is you're out of control. And I was like, oh my goodness, what is the control is out of control? What does that mean? And you were so amazing, because in that session, and I'm sharing this with people that are watching because I want you to actually, this is my personal experience, and that's my journey, it's my experience. I was lying there, and once again in this beautiful subconscious sleep, I was just having a nice close my eyes, and I actually saw big spears. Like I was surrounded by spears, and they were all just moving out of the way. And I can't remember what happened in the middle, but near the end, I saw myself on the harbour bridge, actually jumping into the Sydney harbour, and the water created a love heart. Now, as I say, you know, this is me just lying on Jackie's beautiful, comfy bed, and she gives you socks that you can wear so your feet are nice and warm and cover you up, and literally just going into a beautiful state of relaxation. She's literally just holding your ankles. Okay. So, you know, this is a gift. This is a true gift, and there's nothing uncomfortable about it other than Jackie sitting at the bottom of the bed. She's holding your ankles and she's just connecting with you. But I think the most incredible thing is that I went in there feeling like I was out of control, that I was caged in. All those emotions that we spoke about that came up prior to us talking, and then visually I could actually see things happening that was breaking all that down. And the heart at the end was all about self-love and acceptance. It was just so beautiful. So yeah, just absolutely gorgeous experiences both that I've had with you. And you know, anybody that's listening to this and is still questioning it, you know, do your homework, do your research. Jackie does have a website, so you can actually jump online and you can check her out, and you can have any questions. You can also connect with her directly. You know, there are a lot of people doing these things, but not everybody is authentic, and it's about finding the right person for you. As I said, you know, the purpose of these Wellness Wednesdays is really for me to share with you my own personal journey, but also to connect you with other wellness professionals, so that if someone in here that you listen to could actually help you in some way, so that you can help yourself become the best version of you, so that you can embrace change and grow, so that you can stand in your own amazing energy and radiate and shine, so that you can have more self-love and self-acceptance, to help you get from where you are to where you want to be, to help you with relationships, to help you with, you know, just healing at a cellular level as well. You know, someone like Jackie can be that person for you. Yeah. So
I totally agree. Sorry, we've got a bit of a delay here. I said I totally agree with what you've said. So
absolutely.
You know, I find that even in my own journey that you know, what worked most for me was what I'm doing now. You know, I worked with the beautiful Donna McCormick for I don't know how many years, and she trained me. So she is also an amazing healer, and we all have our special gifts that we can bring to the table to help people heal. But it's really about, for me, empowering people to heal themselves. And I know Donna feels the same way, and a lot of other healers I know feel the same way. You know, we don't want to be the fix-it people. We need to empower people to help themselves.
But I think the one thing that I have also learned, I learned from, you know, working with you and with Debbie and with others, other coaches that I've had, is that you have to be willing to want to have that change.
And you need to be open.
Yeah, message. Yeah. Open and willing.
To be an active participant. So my thing that I always I put on my website or my advertising on anything, I say that they have to be open. You know, you have to be open. You have to be willing to change what's not serving you. That's it. It's as simple as that for me.
And that's the thing, is that a lot of people will say, oh, you know, I've done that sort of thing, it doesn't work. And actually, I will be honest, in terms of Craig, you know, he has in the past sought other people, and he's just said, like, and I'll give an example. So he tried kinesiology. Like, we haven't had a kinesiologist come on here yet, but I do know a few, so watch the space. But that's a good example, because he tried it and he just thought it was like, he was like, oh, that doesn't work. That's nonsense, you know, having to put your hand out.
It's got to resonate with you.
exactly. And that's the thing, you know, when I actually asked him that question and I said, are you open to now take that step? And he said yes. Like that was his 90% there already. So having
Yeah,
that willing
exactly.
participant,
Yeah.
yeah,
He may not
yeah.
have been, he may
I wanted
not have
to
been
ask you a
ready.
question. Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question, Jackie. Do you ever heal children or kids or
Yes,
teenagers?
I have. Yeah. Oh, yes, I do. I actually, my niece, actually, she was going through HSC and suffering a lot of anxiety. And, you know, I've helped girlfriends, children as well, where, you know, that they may be, you know, sometimes they can't articulate what they're feeling. And
Right.
being able to read their energy and to be able to work that through with them and explain to, you know, mum or dad or both, really makes a big difference, depending on their age, of course. But, you know, I really find that for me, energy healing is the proof is in the healing. And, you know, I know that it works because it's worked for me and it works for, as you said, for you, for Craig, for, you know, for all my clients that have left testimonials. But it really is about making sure that, you know, kids may not understand what's going on, but it's safe. It's not intrusive. And, you know, the parents can even be in the room. And you
Right.
can give them, you can even give them feedback at the time. So, you know, it's
Yeah.
real life feedback, you know, what's going on, how does that make you feel? You know, it's a bit of coaching as well, but really the energy for me will tell a story with what's going on with them.
Yeah. Yeah. That wasn't a planned question, but it just came to
No,
my mind because
no,
having a daughter in high school and just seeing the amount of work that's being loaded onto them, and she's only in year 8.
yeah,
So I know it gets worse, and seeing her
yeah, yeah, it
peers
does.
and, you know, adjusting through just becoming a teenager and working through stuff, and just knowing that there's
Yeah,
actually is a way, another way.
yeah,
So many
yeah, and
parents are so
exactly.
quick to get, yeah, it's not always about just self-medicating. Okay, so
No,
yeah, there are other ways to heal
absolutely.
the body.
Absolutely. And, you know, I've got my stepson, he had ADHD, and I really felt that he probably didn't need the medication. He just needed, you know, I connected with him before he was after he was medicated. So I really felt that, you know, I could have done some fantastic work with him, and it would have, you know, really benefited him as opposed to being medicated. So a lot of the time, you know, he would choose not to be medicated because it would dumb him down, or he'd feel, you know, he just didn't quite fit into the school system. And that was part of his challenge, right? He also has special needs. So I need to preface that. But yeah, I was probably going to elaborate
Yeah.
further, but
Awesome.
I'll leave it for that.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, Jackie. So thank you again so much.
No problem,
Please
lovely.
post your link if you want to just put
I will.
your website link on the comments, and
Yeah, I
any
will.
questions, just let Jackie know. Thank you so much
Okay.
again. So glad
No
you
worries,
got on the
lovely. I've
show.
just got no problem. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, lovely. Bye.
Bye. Bye.